Girl is a kind-hearted but slightly odd little girl who's befriended by a giant octopus named Blister.
He swam leagues under the murky ocean to find fashionable items of clothing to dress her.
The game is a puzzle platformer with a really unique and wonderful art style, all of which forms the strange, dreamlike world that Scary Girl must navigate.
She began her life as a comic book character, created by Australian artist Nathan Jerevicus. Not long after, she popped up in a Flash game, and now Scary Girl has been completely revamped for PC and consoles.
Armed with her trusty tentacle hook given to her by her octopus guardian, Scary Girl doesn't know who she is or where she's come from, so she sets off on an adventure to find out. Platforming takes some careful timing, and it's often fiddly to navigate, and the game offers a fairly steep learning curve too.
I have to say, I'm not normally a completist in games like this, but here, for some reason, those gems just called to me. I just had to get every single one of them, and often that meant death after frustrating death until I managed to snag a few of those hard-to-reach crystals without dying.
Scary can use her tentacle hook to fight with and grapple enemies, which she can then throw at targets, slam into other enemies, or squeeze and pop for a bit of extra health. As you collect gems, you can spend them on new weapons or new attacks for Scary.
I do think it's excellent when there's an extra incentive for collecting things in a game. Score chasing is one thing, but being able to use those gems to purchase new and better attacks really makes the player take that extra risk to grab those precious loots.
Agreed, Darren, although some of those rarer purple gems were so punishing to get that I almost gave up on them. Almost.
You gave up though, didn't you, Badger?
Absolutely, Darren.
I must say though, I loved the enemies in this world. They're all so wacky and fun. Stampeding goats, hedgehogs, woodcutter bandits, angry owls, and birds that spit fireballs.
I thought the levels were really fun. There's vertical platforming and sticky walls and grappling moments.
The grapple was the one point that I thought really could have used some work. You know, sometimes I'd be swinging along and I'd see the circle activate on the grapple point and I'd hit right trigger and nothing would happen and I'd just fall. I just thought the grappling could have been a little bit more forgiving, like in something like Little Big Planet, for example. You know, grappling in that game is so fun because it's so easy to do and it isn't fiddly at all.
I just wish there was some sort of ground slam attack for Scary Girl, at least early on. In co-op, the rabbit character Bunny Guru has one, but Scary can't attack anything from above, only beside it or by hurling objects at it. I just found that a bit annoying considering how much time you spend jumping about the place.
Yeah, and many of the attacks you do pick up in the game are moves that can only be pulled off after an enemy has already been grappled, so I would have liked a little bit more combat variety there.
Playing in co-op is good fun, however, because of the way the camera moves, you need to play in complete tandem, lest one character get left behind or the vision of the other get obscured.
Yeah, there's a few camera issues as you work your way through the levels. Often the camera shifts when you have the option of choosing a path from a fork in the road, but when this happens while jumping from one platform to the other, it can throw you off.
Yeah, the game isn't perfect. I hit one glitch where I just fell out of the level and had to restart. But, you know, for the most part, it's a challenging romp with some pretty great level design. Final thoughts?
Well, even with my little issues, I thought it was a wacky and well thought out game. I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I enjoyed it too, although it starts to get pretty challenging about 6 or so levels in, especially if you intend to grab all those crystals, which I did. But you know, even with my rage moments, I just kept coming back, which is a pretty good sign. I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chicken.